Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Divine Libra Wisdom. If you are new here, thank you so much for tuning in, but if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. Let's see. Today, we're going to look at what's going on with the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. This is also, I believe, a blood moon as well. So we're going to look at that and see what's going on with the energies in the form of a pick a pile. I know I'm trying to be, consistent with the readings, getting it out for you and all that jazz. If you hear some noises in the background, that's a little doggy here. So we have a little munchkin in the background, just in case you hear it. Him with his noises, as well as other house, play sounds. You may hear that. Just rock with it. I'll try to keep the sounds and things to a minimum. Sorry, something got in my eye as I was speaking. Anyway, let's see. But yeah, we're gonna look at what's going on with the full moon lunar eclipse that's happening today, actually. At the time that I'm doing this reading, I wanted it to go up so that you have it just in time for that. And let's see what else. I'll go through what the blood moon means, what the lunar eclipse means, all the things, as well as kind of speak about how it connects with Pisces, and then we'll get into the reading itself. But let me get all my other things out of the way and then we'll go to that. So if you're new here, or tuning back in, again, much appreciation, thank you. But definitely consider subscribing if you have not already done that. It lets you know when I drop new videos, as well as other content that you might enjoy. Like the video as you're listening through. Just give it a like. It doesn't cost anything. Just give it a little like and continue listening through. Share it with someone if you think they might benefit from it, or if they may enjoy tarot and oracle cards. Leave me a comment down in the comment section as you choose your pile or piles, and if anything is hitting, if anything is resonating, let me know down in the comments if you feel comfortable sharing. But if not, then you can just leave a cute little emoji, and just to let me know that you are rocking with me and you are enjoying the content. Okay. What else? Any decks that I use, they will be down in the description box below. You'll have your timestamps, all the things. But again, I definitely enjoy doing these, and hopefully I can start connecting with more of you who are tuning in, and build a community over here, because I love tarot and oracle cards, and I love reading for people, and I want to connect with more people who enjoy it also. All right, so with all that out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and get started. You should have chosen the pile that spoke to you. Now you don't have to be just set on one pile. If you felt called to all three of them, or maybe an additional one, go with that feeling, go with your gut. But don't try to force anything. If you hear something that you don't agree with, it doesn't have to come to fruition. You discern for yourself and take what resonates, and just leave the rest by the wayside and just go from there. So again, you should have chosen either pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. We're gonna go ahead and get started, and like I said, decks that I'm using will be down in the description box. Your timestamps will be down in the description box as well. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna move these to the side, these other piles. And I hope while I'm starting, I hope no one tries to call me, because I am on my phone, so they're gonna have to wait. Whatever that was. There we go. Make sure it's kind of level. I mean, not level, but aligned with the camera there. Okay. So pile number 1. We are starting with you. And we have Amethyst here. Let's see if I can kind of like that. There we go. You can see it a little bit better. But yeah, amethyst. Oh wait, hold on. Before I even get started, I didn't even talk about the, you know, the blood moon. So sorry, pal one. I'm gonna redo that, and you'll see where you actually start at. So let me make a note. Starts later, so that I can get the accurate time frame of when pal one actually starts. Sorry about that. Okay, so all right, so blood moon. This is all about endings, deep transformation, and rebirth. With this lunar eclipse, a lot of us are seeing things more clearly. You know, some of us could be going through like a deep transformation, deep healing thing. You know, our intuition has increased. We're able to see, you know, through the BS, basically. See through, you know, read between the lines, you know, see what's actually going on, you know, not taking things for face value, you know, and believing more so people's actions rather than what it is that they say, you know, out loud. You know what I mean? We're trusting the actions. We're trusting what we can see, not just with our own two eyes, but with our mind's eye too. Okay. So with it being in Pisces, Pisces, it kind of represents, you know, that universal love, brotherly love, you know, compassion, transcendence. So some of you could be, if you're, you know, on the spiritual spectrum, which I believe everyone is, but some people, you know, choose to tap into it and some people don't. But if you're, you know, into that, into spirituality, a lot of you could be receiving like a lot of downloads at this, you know, time. Again, that clarity coming through, you know, maybe is something that you've been working on or dealing with, and you're finally figuring it out. Sorry about all that. Oh yeah, you're probably figuring things out, especially if it's like an issue or a problem that you've been dealing with for the longest time. You're able to see, you know, a way forward or a solution to the problem. And so this, you know, also what Pisces represents, empathy, you know, intuition and our artistic expression, but also Pisces, you know, can be very dreamy, very, what's the word? Very like in their head, you know, very spiritual like. And so, you know, they can kind of, when I say dreamy, they can kind of, when I think about Pisces, they move in between worlds, if that makes sense. They can move in between the spiritual realm as well as, you know, the physical realm that we're in right now. They can transcend a lot of this stuff and see beyond, you know, things and pick up on things quickly. So that's what I get when I think about Pisces and how it kind of connects with the blood moon. I really look at like the transformation of things. Pisces, I feel like are good, you know, with sort of like alchemy, bringing things into reality, manifesting things. So that's how they both connect. So now, now we're going to get on pal number one. All right, so I'm just kind of looking at the camera, making a note of when around the time it starts for real. Okay, so say 8:50-ish. Okay, so now pal number one, you have amethyst. Okay, and amethyst deals with you know, bringing in peace, calm. It could talk about our spiritual awareness as well as spiritual downloads. You know, your intuition is enhanced. You know, some of this pal could also be, I'm picking up, some of you could also be readers, you know, all the clairs, you know, like the clairvoyant, claircognizant, all the, you know, clairaudient and clairsentience. I can never say that word, but all the clairs, you know, just look it up and you can, you know, figure out what speaks to you, you know, because I feel like on some level everyone has some clair, you know, one of the clairs or a few of the clairs, you know, so you can tap into spirituality because if we're made in the image of, you know, the creator of God, whatever you believe in, then obviously we're going to take on some of those characteristics as we, you know, incarnate in life, or incarnate in, you know, earth side. So yeah. So without further ado, we're going to get started with number one, or at least get, you know, into the cards rather. Alright, let me make sure I got them in the camera here. And we're going to go through each one like I normally do. Okay. Alright. And let's put Amethyst right there. Okay, move these down a bit. Alright. Okay, and I'm just looking at these cards. So right off the bat, what's sticking out to me is that a lot of you, pile number one, you could be seeing a lot of 3s and 4s, so you may want to look at, you know, look those up, you know, and see what they mean for you. And specifically, we have number 4, we have 41, and we have 33 in here. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go, you know, through the cards real quick. And first, you have the Magician that came out for the tarot. I really love this card. But as I was saying, especially how Pisces sort of comes into play with this blood moon, I really get the sense of pile number one. You all are highly, highly alchemical. Like, you can bring things into existence just by the thought of it. Like, you can speak it into existence, you can think it into existence. So that's why a lot of you, you know, may have to kind of watch your thoughts, or be careful with what you say, because your, you know, your words can be, you know, can you know, be sharp. They can cut like a knife, basically, or poke like a knife, because I don't know, you know, I don't know if, you know, YouTube is sensitive with that. But anyway, because the knife, or the sword, is sticking out to me, basically. And also this pointy thing, like a wand, I believe, that the lady has in her hand. And so, yeah, like, you know, with your tools, which your tools are your mind, your tools are your mouth. So you can speak it, you can think it. And so, you know, it's very easy for you to come into something that you're working on. All right. So then we have Ace of Pentacles here. And whenever I see this card, it always makes me think of, like, I have what it takes in my hand. Like, especially coming out with the Magician, like, whatever, you know, whatever you touch, it's gonna turn to gold, basically. Like, whatever you set your mind to do, that's what's gonna happen. And so, you know, with this lunar eclipse, I feel like, you know, you all are bringing in what it is that you need. You all are figuring out, you know, solutions to a problem. I also get that. Sorry, I just have a lot going on in my mind. A lot in my mind is coming out, so that's why I have to, whenever I get quiet like that, that just means that a lot is, you know, I'm downloading a lot, basically, in real time. Sorry, I had to get my computer back up. Make sure, there we go. But yeah, so, like, in his hands, y'all remember that song, in his, like if you went to church, I believe, you know, and this is not like on some, you know, religious, you know, stuff, because I'm not religious and I don't, you know, push it on anyone, but for some reason that song popped into my head. So I mean, I don't know, some of you could be religious and you know, that song, maybe that's a song that you like, but he got the whole world in his hands, you know that song. And so that makes me think of this, like, this pile has the whole world like in their hands, like at their, you know, at their discretion. Like whatever it is that you need or want is going to come to you. Like you have the power, basically, with the Magician as well as the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. Like y'all don't, it's like y'all don't even have to sweat anything. Like I get the sense of this pile number 1 is like super chill. Like if anything pops up, if anything happens, you're like so chill that you're very laid back. You just let it roll off your shoulders. You know, not that it doesn't, you know, and it may not shake you, or, you know, you be like, dang, you know, why did that happen? You still, you're very, I'm getting a sense, because balance is out here. So I'm getting a sense that you could be like air signs or either earth signs, because especially with like the pentacles out there. So yeah, you could be like, I'm getting earth and air, but balance is out here. And yeah, it's just like you're very zen. Like you don't allow for anything to knock you off your square. You know, you just take it. You know, I'm also hearing grin and bear it, but you know, for the most part, I just get that, you know, you try not to panic when something, you know, serious happens. You know, you know, take the time to really, you know, think things through, you know, figure out your next steps, and then you move accordingly. And especially with like the Magician and the Ace of Pentacles out, yeah, it's no, it's not even a thing. Like, you know, and this is also, you know, this blood moon, lunar eclipse, it talks about that peace, as well as like with the Amethyst, you have, you know, it's very peaceful, very calm. You know, and some of you, maybe if you are on the other side of the spectrum of, you know, being balanced, maybe some of you are finding ways to cope with anxiety, finding ways to, you know, sort of self-soothe, if that makes sense. But for the most part, I feel like this pile, though, you know, your manifestations are coming in. You know, things that you've worked on, things that you prayed for, you know, they are starting to come in for you. And so then we're gonna go to the next card. We have Brazen, and I'm sorry, this is Satira, Brazen. And whenever I think about the word brazen, you know, it's sort of like being out loud, you know, not being afraid to sort of let yourself, you know, be free. And just, I'm gonna go ahead and just give you the direct definition. But brazen, it says brazen is bold and without shame. So yeah, you know, I just feel like you all, like you like I heard devil may care, but I don't know if that's exactly the term that I'm looking for, because devil may care, I feel like that's more so, and I'm gonna look it up, but the term devil may care, I feel like it sort of is like a blasé type attitude, like you don't care, you know, you just do whatever. But okay, oh well, maybe so. It says devil may care, meaning cheerful and reckless. I don't really get the sense. I get more so cheerful, but I get like laid backness, or if you will, if that's even a word. But like just very laid back. Like you don't allow anything. You're always in sort of a pleasant mood. You know, not that you have to be like just, you know, skinning and grinning. You're just very zen. Like you're very balanced. You're very level-headed. You know, you don't allow too many things to, you know, raise your blood pressure up. You just try to approach things with a level head, and you think before you act. And so I would say that that's very Pisces energy as well, even though that's a water, you know, Pisces is a water sign, but I feel like kind of like Libras, Pisces can be, you know, friendly, very welcoming, but also and cheerful as well. But you know, they don't allow too many things to get to them, if that makes sense. And let's see, and but yeah, reckless. I don't get the sense that this pile here is reckless with their brazenness. So, but furthermore, when I see this, it just makes me think of, you know, freedom. You all, whatever is happening, whatever, you know, manifestations that you do have coming in, and I feel like this has come out in a different reading. I don't know. So some of my collective that are tuning in, a lot of us, or some of you, you know, but I include myself in the collective as well, because I feel like these readings that I do, I can tap into and, you know, take some things that resonate, that come out, that, you know, pertain to me personally. So yeah, I feel like with this brazen card, it's not that you're so brazen to the point of you know, you're like braggadocious with it, but it's more so like, you know where you are, you know where you stand, you know who you are, and you're not afraid to, you know, be that. You're not afraid to allow yourself to be seen just as you are. You know, you're not trying to change for anybody. You're not trying to, you know, put on airs about who you are. You're just simply yourself, and you know, that's where I get the brazen from. Okay, so next we have Opportunity Beckons. These cards I just love these cards. They're so pretty. And it's funny, this looks kind of similar to this thing here. So, you know, it's like a globe or like a full circle. So everything comes full circle. And you also have with the Pentacles a circle. A big circle there. So, oh my goodness. And then the cosmos, you have the moon here, circular. So yeah, everything is circular. Everything is, you know, coming into balance, coming into stability. Some of you in this pile could have maybe your stability has been very shaky, and now you're sort of like, yeah, no more. Like you've with the Magician and the Ace of Pentacles, something happened. Maybe you got the job that you wanted. Maybe you got you know, some kind of opportunity, because it says opportunity beckons. So maybe some of you got an opportunity. I'm sorry, let me take a sip of this. Okay, maybe some of you, you know, got the opportunity that you were looking for, and you know, it's come in for you, and you're it's like just from that opportunity alone, just from that job alone, your stability, you're able to get your stability back. Because I'm getting a sense, I'm hearing a lot of things in my mind, but a lot of you were very down and out. A lot of you had hit rock bottom, I feel, in this pile. And there is with this eclipse, and it could have been several events that led up to now, but a lot of you have gotten your stability back. A lot of you have gotten your independence back. A lot of you, you know, have gotten your self-sufficiency back. And now you're able to sort of like, because to me, this card, even though the back is turned and we can't see the, you know, the person's face, I just feel like this is very like a very calm sort of card to me. And funny enough, the moon is out on this too. I just noticed that, and it's like a sigh of relief almost. Like things are starting to level out, and you can rest. You don't have this thing on your shoulders, because I don't know, for some reason it makes me think of a globe like Earth, and you know, or like the world, and you know how they say the weight of the world on your shoulder. That's what I think about with this card here every time I see it. You're able to put that weight down, and it's sitting there, and it's not, you know, rolling away. It's balanced, it's stabilized. Okay. So then we have the Cosmos. And this is about creativity, vastness. Yeah, the sky is the limit. Whenever I see the Cosmos card come out when I use this deck in particular, it just makes me think of, you know, everything is working together. Everything is working to your benefit. You're very creative, and I believe, you know, I said with Amethyst, this can be about, you know, your creative expression, especially with Pisces. Pisces kind of rules over that artistic expression in some ways, because that's, you know, the expression or the artistic expression that a lot of, you know, musical artists as well as painters can pull from. You know, they pull from those. Some people think this, you know, there's some schools of thought where they think that depending on, you know, the type of music or, you know, the art that people make, they pull from, you know, an otherworldly, you know, type thing or entity or whatever. So that's what you're tapping into. Okay. And so lastly, we have Seek Solitude. And this is card number 33. So, you know, for some reason it's kind of stood out to me, that number, the 4s and the 3s. Sorry. Maybe 1 second. I hate when I get to talking, like my nose wants to get all stuffy, or like, you know what I mean? Or like, and it gets, you know, like the back of your throat. It's so annoying. Okay. But yeah, it's like, yeah. And it's like I'm not sick. You know, it's just like my nose wants to act funny. Anyway. And sorry for all that mouth noises and stuff. I can't stand mouth noises myself, so I know it's kind of annoying. So don't hold it against me. Yeah, well, like 33 or 3s in general, they, you know, they speak about like creativity, collaboration, growth, goals. Sorry. Joy and abundance. And 4s, they're about stability, order, and manifestation. I'm so sorry, guys. But yeah, and some of you, I don't know, maybe some of you are having issues with your throat. I don't know. That's just, I'm not throwing that out there because I notice, like, whenever I do have those issues, it could be, you know, related to that, and sometimes a card will come out. Sorry. Or I'll get some kind of download that relates to that, like, you know, throat chakra card to come out, or anything to do with like speaking up, or, you know, sharing your voice. But anyway, so like with Seek Solitude, I just really feel like I don't necessarily get that this is necessarily like isolating yourself, but this is more so like, you know, seeking solitude in, you know, the environments that you want to be in, the people that you want to be around, like whoever you can find sort of like solace in, you know, whether it is, you know, just by yourself or with others. That's what you're doing. So yeah, for this lunar eclipse, pile number 1, you know, if there are any, you know, endings or deep, you know, transformations as far as like in your, you know, home life, work life, with friendships, relationships, I really feel like you're on, you know, you're like on the right path. You know, you're not necessarily, I feel like this is more so, excuse me, this is more so you focused as opposed to anyone else. Even though, you know, even though I just said what I said, but I feel like, excuse me, sorry, the people that you have around you, if there are any, you're content either way, is basically what I'm trying to get out. You know, whether you be around anyone, whether you be, you know, alone, whatever the case may be, you are good. You are fine. And this person, like, even the figure in this card, you know, they're cross-legged. You have the hands up, kind of like in prayer pose almost. And you're at your content, basically. Like, you're so, again, you're zen. Like, you're good. Like, the pile number 1 is just all the way good. Like, you got your bag going. You know, your opportunities are flowing. Abundance is flowing. You know, it's steadily coming in. You're stable. Like, all the things. So, yeah, for this lunar eclipse, you all are good. Simply put, you all are good. So hopefully that resonated, pile number 1. I know I was kind of all over the place and I was making annoying noises with my mouth, but a girl over here was fighting for her life. I had to get something to get my tea, and my nose wanted to act a fool. But anyway, so yeah, and I'm just gonna look over the cards once more and just kind of make sure I am covering everything. Okay, I am getting something here. So in these 2 cards, because something is, I'm saying, let's see, if you kind of can see it, there's a plug right there, and so it all automatically makes me think of unplugging. So perhaps if for some of you in pile number 1, and I'm gonna wrap it up for real. If you do need to unplug and get away for yourself, because this person is like on a balcony kind of overlooking what I'm assuming the city or something, and then you kind of have like a little city, I want to say like a town or whatever area that the moon is kind of looking down on. If you need to get away, then definitely go do that, because in this card there's a train right there. So some of you, you know, maybe whatever you've manifested and your abundance that you brought in, maybe it's giving you the opportunity to take a solo trip. And so, you know, you seek in solitude, you know, maybe you're able to kind of get away, you know, get a breath of fresh air, because oh goodness, we love outside, we love new city air. You know what I mean? And I'm overdue for a trip. I'm kind of hoping that I can go on a trip for my birthday, but we'll see what happens. Even if it's just like a little mini trip out of town, the next town or the next state over, or whatever. I'm definitely hoping for that. But anyway, so yeah, pile number 1, that was your reading. Again, I know I was kind of all over the place, but yeah, hopefully it wasn't too annoying, and hopefully it resonated. If it did, let me know down in the comment section how it resonated, if you feel comfortable sharing. If not, leave me down, you know, leave me a cute little emoji in the comment section, and just, you know, let me know that you are, you know, you were listening through and you enjoyed the video. Okay, all right, and I will see you next time. You'll probably see me in the same outfit, because I will be doing the weekly check-in readings coming up for the week ahead, so you'll see me again. Okay, but yeah, other than that, if this is where I leave you, see you next time. Have a good day. I also have my little TikTok lives up, and they are they are acting funny. They are acting crazy in the comments of this TikTok live. I have it turned down so y'all can't hear it, but anyway, all right, pile number 2. I'm just kind of making a note of around the time. Okay, Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Okay, pile number 2. Whoop. You chose pile number 2. So you chose the chakra bracelet with the let me get it to act right with my fingers here. Tree of Life. Okay, and we're gonna put that right there. And so yeah, the chakras, self-explanatory. It's all about, you know, balancing your emotional and spiritual well-being, even mental well-being. You know, it covers, you know, the chakras cover, you know, the entire body. So you're very much in balance. Um, Especially, you know, what I spoke about regarding the blood moon and all that stuff that we got going on. There we go. And this is all about, you know, kind of getting that clarity, like you're feeling it like on all levels, you know, health wise, mental wise, you know, in all areas of, you know, all spectrums of your life. Now with the Tree of Life, okay, the Tree of Life, you know, it's about our interconnectedness to the divine as well as to the earth, right? And to all realms. It's not just our realm here in the physical plane that we live on, but across all boards. And so this is very like Pisces coded, you know, as I mentioned, that Pisces can sort of travel in between worlds, I feel, you know, with their intuition. You know, they can tap into different, you know, levels of consciousness and pull from different places. Okay, and let's see. Sorry. And this could also be like a rebirth for some of pile number 2s, similar to pile number 1. So if you were, you know, attracted to pile number 1, maybe there could be a message in there for you. I'm not telling you to go over there to listen to pile number 1, but if you felt, you know, inclined to go check it out, then go do it, because yeah, there could be a message in there for you. But yeah, with, you know, with your chakras as well as the Tree of Life, this is all about, you know, full circle, coming full circle, being in balance, being in alignment, that type of thing. All right, so without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna get these cards going and see what's going on. There we go. I'm making sure it's aligned with the camera here. Okay, sorry, I'm laughing because, yeah. Yeah, y'all definitely, this pile number 2 was probably most certainly attracted to pile number 1. Okay. And I'm laughing because Temperance, you got Temperance and then you have balance out here too. Alright, so the first card coming out is Temperance. And Temperance is all about our, you know, balance, you know, discipline, self-discipline specifically. So like order, yeah, like you're keeping things together basically. Then the Chariot, it's all about, like, to me, whenever I see the Chariot, it's about like forward movement, travel. But I get, for like, whenever I see the Chariot, I think more so like shorter distance travel. So some of you, and I just mentioned in pile number 1 that I was hoping to go on a trip for my birthday that's later on this month, but we'll see what happens. But some of you, I get like the sense of like a road trip some of you are taking maybe. But yeah, I just really feel like this lunar eclipse, you all, this is more so about you finding your balance, you know, finding your you know, interconnecting, or your stability, I'm sorry. You're more so where, while pile number one was more so like they had their stability, they were there. This pile number two is more so trying to find that. You're trying to get to that level, if that makes sense. You're trying to, because the Chariot is also about finding things, or like traveling to things, or trying to get to that next step, you know, or the next location, if you will. So yeah, that's what I get the sense of. And I see like the sunflowers on, some of you may want to go like get flowers for yourself. Maybe you can go to the store and buy flowers for yourself, or go pick some flowers or something like that. I don't know why that's coming out, but that's what I get. Okay, and then you have guardian angel out here, and is that roses? A lot of flowers surrounding this card here. You have those up there, then you have some over to the side here. So yeah, flowers are very significant. You know, somebody could be giving you your flowers. You know, that's a saying that we have in the BLK community. You know, we talk about giving people their flowers, so that's very much a BLK thing. Guardian angel. Maybe your guardian angel is like stepping in to help you with something. Cause yeah, I see the little figure here. I don't know if that's a little kid or what. Kind of looks. Let me see. Yeah, it kind of looks like a little kid. And you see the angel right there, and also, funny enough, the Temperance has angel wings there. So yeah. Because on this card with the guardian angel and the person, or the little kid on the card is kind of has their kind of like this with their head down. Something, I don't know, maybe something happened to where it made you extremely sad, and especially with what the blood moon speaks about, you know, endings, deep transformation, you know, clarity, deep healing. Some of you could be, you know, experiencing a really tough time, or you may have come out of a tough time and you're sort of kind of in that grieving period where you're trying to get to a better feeling, or like get to a better state, and coping with whatever happened. So for my pile number twos, you could definitely have gone through something and you're just trying to make sense of it, you know, trying to figure it out. But your guides, guardian angels, ancestors, whatever it is you believe in, whatever it is you call on for, you know, comfort and help, they are with you. Okay, they are helping you, they are assisting you to try to get through you know, your grief. Not necessarily, you know, to make it go away, but more so to, you know, to learn how to cope with it, to learn how to deal with it, if that makes sense. Okay, and then we have Mama Dejambo, and this is Shine. And I also find it kind of funny that it's aligned with Cloaking Your Light down here. So yeah, try whichever the issue that you're going through, or whatever happened, try to see, you know, the light within yourself. Because a lot of times, especially if this is dealing with maybe like a relationship of any type, you know, whether it be friendships or you know, romantic love, whenever we, you know, have a breakup, whenever we have, you know, what feels like a rejection, or something didn't go well, or, you know, a friend group, you know, that things didn't necessarily work out with, sometimes it can feel like rejection. Like, it can feel like, you know, you're not good enough, or it can make you feel insecure, that type of thing. But don't allow that to make you feel like, you know, you're not worthy. Don't make that make you feel like, you know, you're not a light in someone else's life. You're, you know, you're valuable, and anyone, you're lovable, and anyone, you know, would be happy to, you know, be in your presence, to be in your company, you know, to be a part of your world. And so, you know, have more faith in yourself, you know, have more confidence in yourself, and know that you are, you know, worthy of great love, of great friendship, you know, people that you can count on and depend on. So, so yeah, don't be afraid to, you know, shine in that way. Okay, so that's what I get from that card. And then we're going to go to the next one, which is balance. And again, in pile number 1, the card balance came out, but in a different deck. So yeah, this is all about balance. But I get the sense here, with the 2 figures here, this is about like duality is what I get, more so. And it's funny over here too, the Chariot, you have the 2 figures there. I'm just looking to see. Yeah, okay, so, but yeah, this is also like Temperance. She has the 2 cups there too. So yeah, duality, you know, balance basically. But and I also get the sense, this is kind of sticking out to me, heart, matters of the heart chakra. So yeah, you know, you could be sort of dealing with matters of the heart, and you need to, you know, maybe focus on that chakra, you know, a little bit. You know, maybe you could do some, you know, deep healing work for that, and calling on, especially if you have a broken heart. Like, if you have a broken heart, maybe call on angels that specifically deal with, you know, heart, love, you know, related issues. You know, focus on more of like your self-care, your self-love, you know, put in that that care into yourself, you know, taking yourself out on solo dates, again, buying yourself flowers. I mentioned that earlier. You know, this could be one of those things where, you know, you need to treat yourself as if you would want, you know, a partner to treat you, you know, doing those nice things for yourself, not allowing or not waiting on someone else to do the things that you can do for yourself, even though it'd be nice, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, for a lot of us, we cannot wait on others, you know, to make us happy. We have to make ourselves happy. And it's unfair to put that on someone else. You know, we have to stay with ourselves on that one. Okay. So then we have the lady of the gift card here, and I am betting you can't see those words, so let me go back. Also, so for pile number 2, the numbers that are significant for you are 2s, 3s, and 4s, but specifically 2s and 3s. This is 2 itself, 32, 39, and 20. Okay, we also have 14 over here, but again, I'll go back and kind of, all right, so 2s, and funny enough, yeah, 2s, duality. This is all about new beginnings. This is all about this is all about balance, partnership, duality, like I said. 3s are all about creativity, growth, you know, your goals, your joys, ambitions, and abundance, that type of thing. And 4s, those cover stability, order, and manifestation. And I think with the temperance card, I did mention structure, you know, order, self-discipline. Okay, but anyway, so going back to this card here, with the Lady of the Gift, this is all about generosity, receiving, and withholding as well. So yeah, so maybe, you know, with the heartbreak, because I'm leaning more so this is kind of like needs to find balance, needs to find strength within, courage within. But also, a lot of you in pile number 2 could be dealing with a broken heart or a really tough situation that could have happened, or you're sort of dealing with it as we speak, but you're getting ready to move out of that. But you do have to go through like a sort of like growth or grief period as well. And you're sort of kind of trying to find the light within yourself as well as within the situation. You know, a lot of things during this eclipse could be throwing you for a loop, or are very, you know, stressful, especially if it's a, you know, a case where if you did break up with someone, maybe you all are moving, and it's like, it's kind of like coming out of the blue, or it just happened, or it could even be that you knew that it was coming, you know, you knew that it was bound to happen, and so like you are sort of trying to get a hold on things and wrap your head around it. It's almost like, you know, you kind of got like whiplash with so many things happening, but it is kind of making you, you know, put you in sort of like this state here, but that's the state that you're going to move out of. You know, you're going to go through that grief process and, you know, get more into your heart center and make sure you mend that, make sure you heal that. And the way that you do that is by focusing on yourself, you know, bettering yourself for you, not for anyone else. But, you know, when you put the focus on yourself, you're able to heal yourself, but you're also to pour life and love into yourself. Because at the end of the day, you know, we are the ones who have to live with ourselves, you know, at the end of the day. You know, people are going to come and go, you know, but you are going to remain, you know, until, you know, the end of your life. And so, you know, you have to make peace with yourself. Make sure you get, you know, used to your own company, because sometimes people will not be around. Like I said, people will come and go. So, you know, you have to, you know, be your own best friend sometimes. Sometimes that's the only, you know, that's the only thing that you can do at the moment, is have, you know, some love for yourself, you know, focus on yourself. And so, yeah. But with generosity, you know, be open though, you know, don't you know, completely isolate yourself or hide yourself away from people who want to, you know, be in your space, be, you know, with you, you know, as long as you know, kind of, even though I don't necessarily believe in this whole vetting thing, because I you know, people can, you know, whenever we meet, and I know I mentioned this in a previous reading before a while back, but, you know, people, when we first meet people, we're always putting our best foot forward, right? You know, the people that we first meet, unless you're just a crazy, I don't want to say crazy, that's mean, unless you're just like a odd person, you know what I'm saying? Well, no, I take it back. I will say crazy, because some people are crazy out here. That's the reason why, like, when we first meet somebody, we meet them in public, right? You know, just to be safe. But, you know, we all have like two sides to ourselves, you know, or multiple sides. And, you know, sometimes, you know, we may show up as one, what is the word I'm looking for? We may show up as one particular character. I don't know, I hate saying character, because that implies like you're playing something. Personality, you know, we have multiple sides to our personality, you know, as humans. And so we may show up as that one characteristic, if that makes sense, or that one thing, you know, but we have layers to ourselves, right? And so, you know, it could be that, you know, we could be having you know, when we first meet somebody, we're putting our best foot forward, but then they have to get to know, you know, the shadow sides of ourselves, you know, the not so savory sides to ourselves. And so, you know, the person, we have to learn each other, you know, and we have to take the good with the bad, you know, we take the good with the bad, but we have to see if we are willing and able to deal with all that a person can be. You know what I mean? So I said all that to say, don't just close yourself off from people who, are trying to get to know you, who, maybe if someone wants to take you out on a date, if only if you're ready though. If you, only if you're ready. But if someone, ask you, hey, would you like to go here with me or do this with me? No pressure, just let me know. Sometimes, taking that opportunity to just go have fun with a person, especially if, you two are vibing, things are great. That's a good way to meet new people, number one. But then also, just to get out there and, not necessarily get over, the funk that you're in or, the feelings that you're feeling. But it's more so to kind of mend yourself, to heal that sort of like inner child who, who the whatever happened could have hurt as well. Because a lot of times we don't address the wounds that, that happen in our childhoods, and it carries over into our adulthood and our adult life, not adulthood, but it carries over into our adult life. And little things can happen to where it triggers, hurt, or it triggers us, and we have to kind of not only, self-soothe that adult that we are now, but also that inner child. And so when we give ourselves a chance to go, bring joy into our life, spend some time doing some things that we love, meeting up with friends or, making new friends, it can kind of stunt the growth process, you know what I mean? And it can kind of cloak us instead of cloaking ourselves inside of the light and then allowing joy to come in. We're allowing the hurt to continue to fester, right? And so all that, I know I'm going in, but I'm just speaking about what comes when I'm what downloads and what I see within these cards and, the bigger pictures here. And also this is light here, and then this speaks about light here. But yeah, like allow, if you need to heal your chakras, do that, allow people to give, to you as well. Don't just be the person that's always giving and never receiving. Be open to, receiving, gifts, or generosity. And that could be, and it don't even have to be gifts. It don't have to be anything monetary. You know what I mean? It could just be, the gift of someone's time, the gift of someone's effort, for taking the time to spend time with you, for you giving someone else the time of day to spend time with them and, show them support, they show you support, and, on and so forth. All right. So, and then, and before I go with, before I move on to the last card, withholding is out here too. And yeah, if it is a case of where you gave and you gave and you gave and then you're left with crumbs, then it could be a point where you need to take a step back. You know what I mean? It could be that this if pile number 2 is going through a breakup or some kind of friendship breakup, it could be that that person was pushed out of the way and out of your life to stop you from over giving and under receiving. You know what I mean? They left out so that balance can come into, your life, and you can find people who are more, more aligned with, who you are, what your vision is. You know what I mean? They're on a similar path as you. You know what I mean? And it's making way for you to get all the nastiness and people and things out of your way to keep you, to stop you from being stuck. Okay? All right. And then last, but not least, we have the cloaking yourself in light. And I kind of touched on this already, but yeah, like cloak yourself in your personal light. Like put all your effort into yourself. If you're in a season of, being broken up and you know, you're moving away from all that is old, you know, in your life, that is, you know, stagnant and not serving you, not bringing you any type of joy, comfort, support, then yeah, focus on yourself. Bring all those things into your life yourself. If someone new or new people coming in that want to, you know, be that for you, you know, be that, or not be the end all be all, but bring those things into your life and add to it, then by all means, that can be a part of the light that's, you know, you're cloaking yourself in. But for the most part, first and foremost, it has to be you. Okay? It literally has to be you. Pile number twos. You have to be the ones who make yourself happy. No one else on the walking the face of this planet can make us happy ourselves. We have to be the ones first to make ourselves happy, and then other people can step in and you know, support and, you know, add joy, add value to our lives. Okay? So, I know I was long-winded with that. But yeah, pile number two. If you enjoyed the reading, let me know down in the comment section. Let me know how it resonated, if you feel comfortable sharing. If not, then just leave me a nice little cute, you know, emoji down in the comment section. I didn't give pile number two or pile number one an emoji to give, but hey, you know, put some flowers down in the comment section and let me know that you enjoyed the reading. And you know, if you don't want to you know, talk about how it resonated for you, you know, just leave some cute flower emojis down there. I love those. And yeah, if this is where I leave you, then I will see you next time. But if you are still tuning in, you may see me in the same outfit, but I'm doing all these readings on the same day. So yeah, I'm trying to get these readings out that I want to get out, as well as look at the week ahead, especially with this eclipse, just for more clarity. But those what am I trying to say? Those weekly readings will be only for Libra, Taurus, and Cancer. Most of you already, if you've been tuning in regularly, then you know that. But just, you know, for clarification, because I didn't mention this in the pile number one. But anyway, yeah, so Libra, Cancer, and Taurus placements. Those are my big three. Yeah. If you have those placements, definitely stay tuned for the week ahead for that. All right. So without further ado, we're moving on to pile number three. And again, if this is where I leave you, see you next time. Alright, let me make a little note of where I am. Pile number three. Say 23-ish. Alright. Pile number three, if you hear a little munchkin in the background, that's a little doggy. Busting some Z's, as we say, or getting some sleep. Okay, so pile number three. You have the Bostwana Agate here. Love the colors. It matches my thing here. My sweater, or not sweater, cardigan. So yeah. Pile number three. With the Agate, or the Agate, whatever. It's all about like your emotional healing. It represents resilience, strength, courage. It represents your personal growth, and also ties to the root chakra. And with that, the root chakra it's all about your foundation, your safety, your security, and also covers your fears as well, on the flip side of that spectrum. And this is the first chakra. So you all could be needing to focus on creating stability for yourself, or what am I trying to say? You all may need to work on your self-confidence if you're feeling insecure about anything, or feeling inadequate for any reason. Maybe there is a situation that you're dealing with during this lunar eclipse, blood moon, that calls for you to be resilient and stay the course on something. Don't be too afraid to, be wrong or make mistakes. I'm hearing that. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. And if you feel as though, during this time you made some mistakes, it's okay. We all make mistakes, and it's okay. It's okay. We live and we learn, right? Okay. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and pull these cards out here. Already seeing a card. Already. Okay. Yep. So literally what I was talking about, what I said. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Let me take a sip. My tea here. I love green tea. And I love it hot or cold. Alright. So the first card of the tarot that comes out is Four of Pentacles. Okay. So I made mention of making mistakes. Pile number 3, if you felt as though, I'm hearing investments, maybe an investment went wrong, or maybe you put your money into something if it wasn't necessarily like an investment per se, but you put your money into something else, or you gave money to someone and they, said that they were going to pay you back, but they didn't do that. You could be a little miffed or annoyed about it, which is understandable, especially if it was not like a don't worry about it, or you don't have to pay me back type of deal. Yeah, I can understand why you might be a little upset about it, but and I think because of it, if that is what happened, you all are a little you're a little bit more cautious with your money right now. You're keeping it like a tight hold on it. You're not budging, and I definitely understand that as well. So, but I think especially with like the Four of Pentacles, you know there's a tendency to be like extreme, like almost overly cautious, and it's like, even though you learn from your mistakes in the past with dealing with money, you could be kind of low-key kind of paranoid that you may make the same mistake again, and also that it can make you feel like, especially if you loan money to someone, it can make you feel as though you were taken advantage of, or someone always is coming to you for money. If that's the case, then yeah, it could be a thing where you may need to kind of talk to them and ask them what's going on, you know, like, why are you always coming to me for money? And, you know, you're not trying to, you know, do anything to, you know, stop doing that. So yeah, it could just be like, you know, maybe having a conversation with someone and saying, hey, you know, I'm starting to notice a pattern here. What are you doing to, you know, fix the situation? And, you know, are you going to pay me back? Or, you know, but I also, on that same token, I don't want pile number threes to be so paranoid or so, you know, stingy in a way with their coins, especially for those who, you know, may need the help for real and who are willing to, you know, pay you back or, you know, are appreciative. Don't be so rigid, and you know, sort of paranoid because of who you helped or what, you know, what you did in the past for someone, that it stops you from having a generous spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you can be grateful of the fact that you are in a position where you could, you know, help someone, you know, because we all need, you know, someone in our corner who, you know, we could go to or ask for help and assistance, even if it's not just monetary. You know, it could be like, you know, generosity or generous with, you know, time, support, you know, helping someone, you know, maybe they need help with a certain subject, you know, like math, or they need help with, you know, their study, any type of studies, like writing a paper, you know, directing them to different books they need to research or need for research if they're doing a paper or something like that, you know, just different little scenarios, you know, take it as it resonates. But yeah, don't be so rigid to the point where you don't want to help anybody because of, you know, negative experiences you may have experienced in the past. Okay, so then we have the High Priestess here. And to me, the High Priestess is someone who, especially like with the look on the look on the face, I feel like the High Priestess is someone who's very like not necessarily stubborn, I don't feel that way, but more so stern, more so about, you know, following protocols. They're very much in their bag, very much about their business, if that makes sense. And you could have this sort of no nonsense feeling about yourself, especially during this time. You could be wanting to sort of like focus on yourself. You're not necessarily too worried about anyone else. You know, you're focused on building yourself up, you know, building what it is that you know, your eyes are on your own paper. You know, you don't have time to sort of like step off and help anyone else. Okay, so yeah, you're very much with the Four of Pentacles and the High Priestess. You're very much kind of to yourself, I feel like. Yeah. It's interesting. I just want to look up something really quick just to confirm that I'm on the right track here. Yeah, I just feel like you're very much, for some reason I'm getting stern, but the Empress card, you know, it's all about like nurturing yourself, nurturing others. But I really feel like this is more so focused on yourself though, your creativity, your business. Some of you could have maybe, some of you could have like a creative business that you're working on. Because again, with Pisces being in the mix with this blood moon, this could be like your creative, your focus on your creative expression, your creative business. If you have a creative business, you're focusing you have the laptop out here in the card. You are focused on your business. You are focusing on what it is you're trying to, you know, accomplish. And I mentioned with this Bostwana and Agate, it's all about like your personal growth, your resilience. So, you know, you could be focusing on your studies. You could be focusing on sort of like, you know, you're focusing on bettering yourself. You know, your focus is more so on, you know, your family, yourself, not outside forces. Your focus is on your home, on yourself. Okay. So then, with the emerging card here, I feel like this is more so not being afraid to stand out, not being afraid to, you know, show resilience. You know, be in the spotlight if you need to. You know, you're happy, you're content with it, but you may need to sort of, because I'm getting the sense of someone. I go back to what the agate represents, and I'm getting someone who especially like with it pertaining to the root chakra, you know, this could be someone who's sort of like, I get the feeling like has stage fright, because they kind of have like that hand on the arm right here, and they kind of, you know, kind of like kind of to themselves, and kind of trying to draw up into themselves. And so that's what I get with that card there. Yeah. Okay. Now for others of you, because this kind of takes a little bit of a turn, but you have betrayal out here with a Nancy or Aunt Nancy. Yeah. So I don't know if with this Four of Pentacles you may have felt betrayed by someone that you may have, you know, given money or time to support, and you feel like they may have betrayed you. And maybe you need to get to the bottom of it, because you have to seek the truth out here. There could be like 2 people or 3 people involved, you and 2 other people. Yeah, I feel like whatever this betrayal was, you need to get to the bottom of it. And this could be the very time that you do get to the bottom of it, because I'm with the Four of Pentacles and it coming out in the past position. I feel like this is something that happened a minute ago, or like a while ago. Not a minute ago, but y'all know what I mean, like a while ago. And you're now at this point, you kind of, you know, that's why you've been so stingy. That's why you've been sort of to yourself and not really trying to, you know, not in the mood to really entertain anybody new. And so, you know, this could be a feeling of wanting to emerge, wanting to get back out there, you know, whether it be like, you know, relationship, platonic, or even at work, you know what I'm saying? Because we're looking, she's on her laptop there, and it's all about, High Priestess is all about like business and work and that type of thing. So, you know, maybe you're, you know, I just heard the word rebrand. So maybe something happened where someone may have stolen your creative ideas, and that's why you feel betrayed. Or something may have happened to where, you know, it was like the stealing of your material, your creative ideas, or someone, because I'm getting a sense, especially like if you're online, someone stealing your method, your way of doing things, trying to do it themselves, and you feel betrayed by it. And if they are sort of acting like they didn't do it, you are now like this lunar eclipse. This eclipse is going to give you a chance to seek the truth or get to the bottom of the situation. Okay, so then we have the Horse King here, and this is about assistance and control. I don't know, the word control really stands out to me, as well as assistance, but control specific. So this could, I don't know, because I'm seeing like two men. This is like two men, and then this one figure here, a young girl, a girl right there. So I'm, then you have two women, yeah. I don't know if it's someone, especially like the Horse King, maybe a boss stole some of your creative ideas and tried to pass them off as theirs. Because we have control out here, and this is a king. So yeah, I'm getting like a overbearing boss or figure, supervisor or something, you know, trying to control, you know, and micromanage you at work. But if you're you know, a self-employed or whatever, you're working on your own business, maybe it could be you that is betraying your own self by being too hard on yourself, and you know, trying to make it seem as though you're not doing enough. Because I get the feeling of like feeling you're not good enough, or feeling like you're not doing enough, and that's not the case at all, especially with the High Priestess out here. Yeah, that's absolutely false right there. So false evidence appearing real. That's what I got about fear, and I got that from the actor Hill Hopper, I believe that's his name. He signed my book one time because he came here to where I live at my college, and he was doing a book signing. I don't know, maybe some of you like his character, or not like his character, but like his acting or something. I know that's kind of random, but yeah, false evidence appearing real, fear. So you could have that fear that you're not doing enough, and that could be, you know, the betrayal on that level. But also, yeah, so I'm getting multiple scenarios here that could, you know, come into play. But however it resonates for you, that, you know, you take it however you need to. Now, assistance, I feel like if you are in need of assistance, if you are in need of help to kind of like, especially like with the Four of Pentacles, because I'm getting this with assistance, and this is only for this, you know, if you need someone, excuse me, especially during this lunar eclipse, if there's something that you need to, you know, figure out as far as your finances go, then possibly you could, you know, maybe call in like an accountant if you got it, you know, if you have it to where you can, you know, seek out an accountant or someone who's very good at, you know, investments and, you know, making your money grow. Then that could be the assistance that you need, you know, to come in. Maybe you need to get an accountant, or like a I forget what the other thing is, someone to, you know, an estate planner. I think those, like an estate planner, an accountant, something like that, you know, to help you sort of manage your finances, because maybe, again, there could be like a fear of repeating the same mistakes, or, you know, a feeling of being betrayed in the past, and so you're more so, you know, wanting to secure yourself and make sure that you're on the right track as far as, like, you know, keeping up with your finances and making sure things are paid on time, making sure that, you know, you're not overspending or maybe underspending. You know, maybe, you know, there are some investments that you may want to invest in that that, you know, could be beneficial to you, and so you're trying to go through like someone can create a portfolio for you, an investor, that type of thing. So yeah. And then lastly, we have walk it off, and the numbers for you all I have here are 20, 7, 42, and 28. That's what I see, as well as the 4 up there. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, 4, because you have 4 pentacles. The only thing that I get with walk it off is, you know, to like allow whatever those feelings you know, the fear, the paranoia, or, you know, not being as enthusiastic about reaching out to others. You know, you're more so kind of like stuck stuck with yourself, you know, wanting to be to yourself more. Give yourself a chance to sort of like walk that energy off, you know, meditate on it, pray on it, whatever you do. Give yourself, you know, a chance to, maybe it could be that you need to focus on something that, you know, is fun for you, brings you joy, something that you're creating that just for fun, and walking out the energy, or letting that energy go that's keeping you sort of like in that sort of rigid kind of feeling or state. Okay, so that's all that I'm getting from these cards. Pile number 3, if it resonated, definitely let me know down in the comment section below. And just kind of, I didn't give pile number 1 an emoji to leave down in the comment section. I just kind of left it up to them, but I did tell pile number 2 to leave some flower emojis in the comment section if they don't feel comfortable sharing how the reading resonated, if they don't want to go too much in detail, you know, into their personal life, but, you know, just to leave an emoji down in the comment section if they enjoyed the reading. Okay, so for you all, I would like, let's see. I just noticed something too. This lady is holding the pentacle so tight, right? And this is typical in the original tarot as well, but she's holding like a ball in her hand, like in a circular thing. So yeah, just wanted to make that connection. So yeah, you're holding on tight to something, like you are very much to yourself. You don't want to, you know, you're trying to hold on to something as much as possible. But anyway, so let's see, and there's a plane or something in the background there. What can I get you all to put down in the comments? What emoji? Put a spider. Yeah, if they have the spider emoji or something like that, put it down in the comment section. Because spiders, you know, yeah, they get a bad rep, I feel. But yeah, put a spider emoji down in the comment section if you can. I think there's spider emoji down in the comment section, but if not, if you can't find the spider emoji, then let's see, put some kind of, put the light emoji down in the comment section, like the little star or some kind of light sparkle, something like that. Put that down in the comment section. Just, you know, whatever you feel called or compelled to, even if you can't put it like a spider or the little light emoji thing in the comment section. You know, do whatever you feel your heart's content to, and just let me know that you chose pile number 3 and that you know, it was kind of up in the air. Okay, but I just do that, you know, just to connect more with who I'm reading for, who's, you know, trying to see who's all in the collective, or, you know, coming over to listen to the readings, and, you know, how they are feeling about the reading. And plus, you know, I want to build my little community over here of people who enjoy tarot and oracle readings, and get to know y'all more. Okay, so if this is where I leave you, pile number 3s, definitely come back and stay tuned to what I drop new. You will see me again in this outfit, because I will be doing the weekly check-in readings for Libra, Taurus, and Cancer. Also trying to hopefully today get out a all signs reading here soon, so it's all going to be stacked that way. So, but if I don't get to the all signs reading, then I will get to it maybe tomorrow, which I think that's what I will do. Yeah, I think I'm going to finish up this reading, then then you all can look forward to the 3 signs weekly check-ins, and then look for the all sign reading tomorrow if I don't get to it today. Okay, so yeah, for all signs reading, you may or may not see me in the same thing. Okay, so with that being said, finally Thank you so much. See y'all next time. Bye.